There comes a time in everyone's life when everything feels shattered. You look around and see only the pieces, dreams that didn't work out, friendships that fell apart, prayers that seemed unanswered. You wonder, can anything good come out of this? Maybe you've been holding back your tears, pretending you're fine while your heart is breaking quietly inside. But listen closely. God has a word for you today. He says, I am not done with you yet. What you see is broken. He sees as a masterpiece in progress. What you think is lost, He is preparing to restore in a way you could never imagine. The story of your life doesn't end in the ruins. It begins there, in the moment you turn your eyes to heaven and whisper, God, I can't do this alone. That's where restoration starts. There was a man once, strong, confident, sure of his path. He had plans, dreams, and people who believed in him. But then life happened. A few bad choices, a few painful losses, and suddenly everything collapsed. He stood in the wreckage of his own decisions, feeling too far gone for grace. He thought, maybe this is who I am now, broken, forgotten, finished. But little did he know, God specializes in rebuilding what the world calls finished. You see, brokenness isn't the end. It's the beginning of transformation. Because when you've lost everything, you finally realize what truly matters. And that's when God steps in, not to punish, but to rebuild. One night, that man fell on his knees and said, God, if you're still there, I need you. And in that silence, he felt something shift, not around him, but inside him. It wasn't thunder, it wasn't lightning, it was a whisper, a voice that said, I never left you. Tears fell, because in that moment, he realized something powerful. God doesn't wait for you to be perfect to love you. He meets you right in your mess, in the middle of your pain, your failure, your confusion. And that's the promise of restoration. He doesn't just fix what's broken, He makes it new. Healing is not instant. It's a process, slow, painful, but holy. Some days you'll wake up with hope, and other days you'll question everything. But even on the hardest days, remember this: God is still working behind the scenes. You may not see progress, but the potter never abandons his clay. He's shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for something greater than you've ever known. Because restoration is not just about what you lost. It's about who you become in the process. Sometimes God allows the breaking so He can remove what was never meant to stay. And once He clears that away, He can build something far more beautiful. Months later, the man who once called himself broken started to smile again. He didn't have everything he lost, but he had peace, real peace. The kind that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on trust. He started helping others who were hurting. He told them, if God can restore me, He can restore you too. And one by one, he began to see miracles, not of riches or fame, but of hearts being healed. That's what God does. He turns pain into purpose, loss into learning, and brokenness into beauty. He makes you whole not by giving you everything back, but by giving you Himself. Maybe today, that man's story sounds like yours. You've been through storms that left scars. You've cried prayers that felt unanswered. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe the lie that you're too broken to be used. But hear this truth: you are never too far gone for God's love. You are never too damaged for His plan. In fact, your scars might just be the roadmap He uses to guide others home. God doesn't waste pain. Every heartbreak, every setback, every dark night, it's all part of the restoration story. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for surrender. Let Him in. Let Him heal what you've been hiding. Because once you place your broken pieces in His hands, they no longer define your past. They reveal His power. In Isaiah 61 verse 3, the Bible says, He will give you beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and praise for despair. That's his promise. He never said life would be easy, but he promised you'd never walk through it alone. He promised that every broken piece can be redeemed. He promised that the story isn't over until he says it is. So lift your head, even if it's heavy. Wipe your tears, even if they keep coming. Because God is not finished with your story. He is writing a new chapter, one filled with hope, healing, and purpose. You see, when God restores, he doesn't return things to their previous state. He makes them better than before. He gives you strength you didn't know you had, wisdom that came from the pain, and compassion that only broken hearts can carry. Maybe your past was full of mistakes, but your future is full of mercy. Maybe you lost something, but you're about to gain peace that the world can't take away. Because when God restores you, he makes you whole, not by fixing your old life, but by giving you a new one. Every person who has walked through pain has a testimony. Your story might be the reason someone else doesn't give up. So don't hide your scars, show them, because they're proof that healing is real. When you tell your story, you remind the world that God still restores. And in doing so, you step into the very purpose for which you were created, to shine light in someone else's darkness. So keep walking, keep believing, keep trusting, because your story isn't just about survival, it's about transformation. If you're watching this right now and you feel broken, take a deep breath. This is not the end. This is the turning point. God's hands are reaching out for you, even now. And when he touches your life, everything changes. He restores the broken heart. He heals what you thought was impossible. He makes the impossible possible. So tonight, say this from your heart. Lord, take my brokenness and make me whole. And watch how the pieces begin to come together. Not in your strength, but in his love. Because the God who restores is still at work. And the next chapter of your story is going to be more beautiful than the last. If this message touched your heart, don't scroll away quietly. Take a moment and type in the comments, God is restoring me. Your words might inspire someone else to believe again. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it today, a friend, a family member, or even a stranger who's fighting silent battles. And remember, no matter how broken you feel, God's promise still stands. He restores, he heals, he makes all things new.